What is going on, guys? This is the OG Hoenn Champ here, and today I am bringing you the team builder for week 3 of the UBL, where we will be taking on the Wild Moscow Mamoswine and Coach Darkmaster. I know it just says Dark there, but this is Darkmaster, trust me. So here we go, and I'll just show you the schedule really quick. Yeah, so here I'm against Darkmaster. Next week I'm going against the league leader, actually, Hyper TM. And the week after I'm going to actually have a bye week because this member Dugstar actually dropped out of the league. So that's just a little bit of an update for you guys, and so you know what to expect. So without further ado, let's go right into his team and see what he has, what threats he has. So we're going to start off with Tapu Fini. This is a Pokemon I actually happen to like quite a lot. It's Water Fairy. It gets Misty Terrain, so it doesn't even have to worry about status most of the time. And it has really good defenses. Like I think it has like 115 defense, 115 special defense, and 90 special attack as well, which really helps with when it has Moonblast and Scald, Surf, Hydro Pump, even Energy Ball. I know it gets. Usually it's used as a defensive Pokemon. It also gets Defog too, which is really neat. But what holds it back is that it doesn't get any reliable recovery outside of Rest, and you can't even use Rest on Misty Terrain because it will fail because you're not allowed to sleep. So that makes it kind of... you have to play smart with it. It's very, very situational Pokemon. A lot of people think it's the worst of the Tapus. I don't know, I actually tend to think that Tapu Koko is a little bit outclassed by it just because there are so many better fast electric types. But nonetheless, it's definitely going to be a threat to watch out for. There's a reason it's tier 1. So yeah, I will be watching out for that. Next up is Entei. Great Pokemon overall, but one that I'm not actually worried about too much because even if he runs Choice Bandit Entei with Flare Blitz, Venusaur, I think, takes like at most 50-something% from it, but then we have Vaporeon, which takes like 0 damage from it. So, okay, it takes like 25%, but he'll be taking Recoil the whole time. He hits these two, and I can just honestly Synthesis or Wish protect my way to victory against it. So I don't actually think he's gonna bring this Pokemon unless to counter my Celesteela, but then it's just an easy switch into Vaporeon or something like that. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna make sure these notifications stop. Alright, so those notifications are out of there for now. Alright, so next up is Tangrowth. Really great defensive Pokemon in general, with Regenerator, so it doesn't actually have to run leftovers or anything. You could have Assault Vest. And its attacking moves are really good. It can be special or physical. You could have Giga Drain, Rock Slide, Knock Off, Power Whip, any of the hidden powers. And those are only the ones that come to mind. I mean, it just gets a ton of coverage, and it's really versatile Pokemon. You can also run leftovers as well, though, because it gets Leech Seed, it gets Sleep Powder, so definitely a Pokemon I'm going to need to watch out for here. But again, it just gets completely, no matter what set it runs, it just gets completely walled by Venusaur, and Venusaur will hit it very hard. Next up is Snorlax. He actually took out a lot of Pokemon with this Snorlax one of the weeks by running a curse set and just getting a ton of curses up and obliterating everything. I think it was, yeah, it was his first week against the Kentucky Tentacruels. So yeah, he got 3 kills with it, and yeah, that's gonna be something I gotta watch out for because I have very few responses if he decides to run Curse, Return, Fire Punch, and Rest. That would be a huge problem for my team. So something I gotta watch out for. Next up is Bronzong, and I am really scared of this thing because this thing walls out. It just takes no damage from my Kyurem. If it's Levitate, it takes no damage from Donphan. Lucario can barely do anything to it. Venusaur is completely helpless against it and does nothing, so that means free rocks, free screens if he wants. Vaporeon can't poison it. The only thing that can really do anything to this is Celesteela, but even Celesteela with like Fire Blast or something is not going to be doing that much. So definitely going to be a Pokemon I'm watching for. I'm thinking he's either going to run rocks or screens with Psychic and, I don't know, maybe Gyro Ball or something. Maybe Earthquake to deal a little better with Lucario or something. Because he wouldn't stay in on my Celesteela. Next up is actually Combusken. And if you'll notice, he actually doesn't have the fastest team. And I think Combusken and his next pick, Galvantula, were actually chosen to sort of remedy that with Sticky Webs up or with a Speed Boost Baton Pass. A lot of his Pokemon could sweep really well, like the Conkeldurr, like Garchomp, even Necrozma, which is I'll get to in a second. But yeah, that's really all Combusken's would do in this battle if he brings it. I don't think he'll bring it because it suffers from the same thing as Entei. It kind of gets walled by a lot of things. Can't do really much to my team, which is why I think he'll actually bring Galvantula instead. So Galvantula, really great Pokemon. I think he'll bring Sticky Webs this week just for the speed support. I mean, he could also run Specs or Scarf with Thunder, Bug Buzz. Giga Drain would be really good to take out that my Donphan if you wanted to do that. Next up is Necrozma. I think he'll bring Galvantula. I also think he'll bring Necrozma. I think he will bring it because my Psychic resistances are pretty bad. And Necrozma is one of those Pokemon that can just set up in your face if you don't have anything to deal with it. I do have Scolipede, but I mean you'll see why I'm so worried about this thing later. I do have Scolipede that can handle this, but he actually has a lot. If he runs like Max Defense or something, Psychic would just one-shot me anyway, no matter what set I run, even Choice Banded. So next up is Rotom Mow. Which is his main electric type, I think, actually, because he has, no, actually, he has Galvantula and Tangrowth, so already another electric and grass type. Honestly, in my opinion, Rotom Mow is kind of a waste on his team. He could very easily pick up something else, maybe something like Fast from Tier 4, and that would really help him out a lot, I think. So I'm not so worried about this thing unless it wants to bring Will-O-Wisp for like my Kyurem or something, or just to deal with both my Donphan and my Vaporeon at the same time. But in all honesty, I don't think it's worth it for him to bring it. Next up is Conkeldurr, and the deal with Conkeldurr is that it's really good normally, like if it has the right matchup, and especially like against my team, like he could run Mach Punch just to deal with Kyurem a lot better, but it does get walled out really well by my my defensive walls. Like it can't touch Venusaur because Ice Punch gets halved by Thick Fat, and Poison Jab's not doing anything to me. And unless he runs Thunder Punch, which would like really limit the rest of his abilities, he can't really do anything to Vaporeon or even Celesteela that well. And then Celesteela just goes ahead and like air slashes it or something, or acrobatics. So yeah. And last but not least, certainly not least actually, is his Mega Garchomp. I really hope I still have Kyurem around for this thing. And yeah, spoiler, I'm bringing Kyurem. Because otherwise this thing could really run through my team. Like a Swords Dance Outrage, especially with Sticky Web support, could pretty much take out anything on my team except maybe Celesteela. I'm not actually sure, but I don't know. It would be a close call, but this is definitely one of the Pokemon I think he's going to bring. Definitely think I need to watch out for. So my prediction for his team is going to be Mega Garchomp, Necrozma, Galvantula, Bronzong, Snorlax, and then probably Tangrowth or Tapu Fini or something. Not really sure what that sixth pick of his will be. And yeah, he actually had Tapu Bulu originally for week 1. but then he traded away to Granville and the Salt Lake City Raptors. So I do not need to worry about Tapu Bulu, thank goodness. Not that I really need to, because Venusaur kind of walls it out really well, and Scolipede one-shots it. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into my team. Wrong team. Here it is. We have Divide by Zero, the Kyurem Black, Roadhog, the Mega Venusaur, Lady Liberty, the Celesteela, the Dawn, my Dawn fan, Rin Skywalker, making his or her debut. I'm not really sure. I probably should make this specifically female if you get the reference, but yeah. And Vape Nation, the Vaporeon, making a comeback from week 1. So yeah, I'm just gonna show these guys off really quick. Scarfed Kyurem Black, pretty standard set. Full attack investment, making you just have such a monstrous attack stat. Fusion Bolt and Outrage are my 2 main attacking moves. Ice Beam is for that. That's Garchomp. I'm sorry, I'm kind of choking on my own words right now. And Brutal Swing is actually in case he wants to bring that Bronzong to kind of wall out the rest of my team. And Brutal Swing does a lot of damage. Is a base. It doesn't actually do that much damage, but it's the best move I had to hit it with. Base 60 Dark move. I think it's better in doubles or triples because it acts like Flame Burst. But yeah, I ran Adamant this week because with Scarf I pretty much outspeed anything on his team already, and anything that does outspeed me will not one-shot me. Except maybe that Entei, but again, I don't think he'll bring the Entei. So yeah, this set. Outrage is just gonna do so much damage. So next up is Roadhog, my Mega Venusaur, full defense investment this week. Man, I love this thing so much. So I was thinking about it. I was debating this attack, Leech Seed versus Toxic. I decided to go with Leech Seed actually because of the Misty Terrain, and just Leech Seed would be better to have in case he wants to bring Rest Snorlax, because that way he can't rest away the Toxic. I mean, Toxic would be better for like the Necrozma if he wants to bring that, but it also hits, Leech Seed also hits the Bronzong as well, so that's why I decided to bring that. Still bringing Giga Drain, still bringing Sludge Bomb because it just does so much work against his team, and Synthesis. Yeah, this is pretty much my main defensive wall. Very standard, nothing special about it. So next up is Lady Liberty, my Celesteela, bringing back the Assault Vest set. I was gonna run leftovers on this thing, but I needed something to take special hits. Like everything else in my team is either physically defensive or mixed. So I really needed like a dedicated special attack switch in, which Celesteela does actually pretty well. So yeah, I'm just running. Oops, sorry. I'm just running Energy Ball for the Tapu Fini for the most part. I'm not running any steel moves, as you see. Just because Energy Ball does a little more to the Tapu Fini actually. Earthquake is for the Entei, for the Combuskin if he decides to bring it, just in case. Air Slash is my main stab move, which I'll be using for pretty much everything else. Conkeldurr, Galvantula, and Tangrowth. And last up is Flamethrower, which is actually just for the Rotom if he decides to bring that. Also can be used against the Tangrowth, and actually does a little more damage to Galvantula. That's this set. Beast Boost to get the special attack up. So yeah, we have that. Next up is the Dawn, my Dawn fan. This is going to be my main Stealth Rock setter. Once again, bulky physical sweeper, because all I really want to do is get up Stealth Rocks, maybe get rid of Stealth Rocks if he sets it up, or Sticky Web actually, which would be even worse. I didn't really feel like running a ground move on this set was worth it, because If I did, I wouldn't really be able to hit the Bronze Arm. I wouldn't be able to do any damage to it. Because Ice Shard I really want for that Mega Garchomp. So I decided to run Knockoff instead, because Knockoff hits everything else on his team for really good damage, except for the Tapu Fini, but I won't be staying into that anyway. So yeah, that's going to be my Donphan set. Max attack, max HP. Not much else really needed to say there. Next up is Rin Skywalker, my Lucario. Choice Banded. This was actually a late add-on to the team. I originally had Armaldo with the Assault Vest, but after looking at his team, I really just wanted something faster that would be able to take it out. So yeah, max speed, max attack, with Choice Band, coverage to take care of all his threats. And finally Vaporeon. Just my main thing to take on Entei, because if he does decide to bring it, it could be a problem for the rest of my team. So this is really just meant to deal with that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like, comment what you think of the team, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.